This is All About Bitcoin, a show dedicated to all things, questions, and markets related to Bitcoin. Little b for the currency and Bitcoin, big B for the network. A collective journey to understand, apply, and use this innovation. All Bitcoin, all the time. I'm your host, Christine Lee. Bitcoin right now pulling back from yesterday's record high above $48,000. Bitcoin trading just above $45,000. It's down about 4% over the last 24 hours. The XBX Bitcoin price trading, the XBX has been the most reliable Bitcoin reference price for institutions since 2014, with billions in assets under management benchmarked against it. And joining me now with more analysis on the BTC markets from Austin, Texas is Brad Cowan, editor of the First Mover newsletter, which you can sign up for at CoinDesk.com. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, thanks, Denise. Thanks, Christine, and thanks for the plug.
No problem. All right, so this morning, Twitter CFO Ned Siegel saying we've done a lot of the upfront thinking to consider how we might pay employees should they ask to be paid in Bitcoin, how we might pay a vendor if they ask to be paid in Bitcoin, and whether we need to have BTC on our balance sheet. So very bullish on Bitcoin after Tesla's $1.5 billion cash conversion to Bitcoin this week. Are more S&P 500 companies jumping in, and is that why we're seeing Bitcoin rise?
For sure. I mean, the Elon Musk announcement was obviously sent Bitcoin prices up 19%, and the story there was just not just people saying, "Wow, Tesla's getting in," but also speculating on who's next and. They're thinking about all kinds of things, and Twitter is too, and they're obviously taking it seriously that Bitcoin could become the future of money and might someday be a form of payment, and people might want to get paid in that, and in that case they need to have some corporate liquidity in Bitcoin.
I'm also hearing that Oracle executives are also considering it, having some Bitcoin on the balance sheet. This morning, we had economist and very vocal Bitcoin critic Dr. Nouriel Roubini on First Mover, suggesting the SEC should look at Elon Musk for market manipulation. Let's watch.
For somebody like Elon Musk, who knows that there's a market impact to manipulate, first take an individual position into Bitcoin, pump the price up, and then say that Tesla has invested and Tesla doesn't make money yet, it's also irresponsible and it's market manipulation. The SEC should be looking to people that have a market impact, that manipulate the price of assets. That's also criminal behavior.
Brad, your reaction?
That's his opinion. A lot of people would have a very different opinion. A lot of people say a lot of things all the time in markets, and CEOs of companies are constantly talking up their books and their strategies, and that extends to both their product strategies and maybe their treasury strategies. They get questions all the time from analysts, and they say what they're going on, what they're doing. In this case, Tesla, and presumably with the approval of its board of directors, made a decision to put some of its corporate money into Bitcoin. And, it seems like they followed the proper procedures of, disclosing that. I mean, maybe you can ask if they disclosed it on time. I did, in my email feed earlier today, there was a lawyer from a white shoe firm who was making the comment that it doesn't look like they did anything that was particularly untoward from the SEC's perspective.
Okay. Now, I know this is all about Bitcoin, but this is Bitcoin adjacent. Can you touch on why Ether is hitting all-time highs?
It comes back to the technology here. I mean, one of the things that people like about Bitcoin is the way that the investment narrative has been spun. You get a 2-for-1. You get a future of payment technology, which is the original concept of Bitcoin. That's why it was invented as a peer-to-peer payment system, but you also get this store of value, which is, the gold 2.0, which is why a lot of people are buying it. Ethereum is really in the same way, really more of a technology play. It's a play as the world's distributed computer. It is the host of a million developers who are building applications that would run on Ethereum. It fits in with sort of the Web 3.0, and then there's decentralized finance. Potentially, the idea there is it could replace an entire industry of banks, insurance companies, trading companies, all of Wall Street. It would all just be automated, similar to the way that Amazon automated Sears. And so, it's another affirmation of the magic of blockchain technology.
Right. So we're seeing the ripple effects of Bitcoin going up, touching upon other cryptocurrencies. DeFi is also going up. Brad, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Christine.
All right, that was Bradley Cown, editor of the First Mover newsletter. Coming up, crypto exchange Luno and how they are navigating the Nigerian central bank's ban on crypto accounts. Welcome back. Crypto exchanges Binance, Luno, and other platforms are halting local currency deposits to accounts in Nigeria after the Central Bank of Nigeria issued a 5-page statement Sunday reminding local banks that cryptocurrencies are not legal tender, reiterating a position the bank has held since 2017. Angered Nigerian crypto users took to Twitter and other social media platforms to express their anger. Twitter user Gabriel Joyce tweeting, "You can't feed us, you can't clothe us, you can't even put a roof over our heads. Now we found a way to feed ourselves and our family, a way that was not created by you. You decided to make it fall. Never. Hashtag we want our crypto back." And joining me now with more is Marcus Swanspool, CEO of London-based crypto exchange Luno. Welcome, Marcus.
Hi, Christine. Good to be here.
Good to have you. All right, so Marcus, Luno is a global crypto exchange operating in over 40 countries, including Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria is advising financial institutions in the country to close bank accounts held by cryptocurrency service providers. Luno says funds are safe and withdrawals are being processed. Any updates on the situation?
Thanks. I think it would be a little bit early to update. This is an ongoing situation. We're obviously doing everything we can. We have, a fantastic team on the ground in Lagos. We've been there for many, many years. We're the largest player in Nigeria. And so all the stakeholders are working together to come to some kind of resolve. I think what we have to remember is, different countries are going to move at different paces when it comes to crypto adoption, crypto regulation. And this is one part of the journey that we will go through. We've seen this in other countries as well, where there are some concerns and all the stakeholders get together at the table and come up with a solution that works for everyone. So we're positive in the long run we can sort something out in Nigeria.
Right. Bitcoin has been heralded as a currency that can't be government censored, but certainly the government can interfere in a big way. Have you concerns there?
I think, like you say, it's a general risk for the industry. I think what we have to remember is the bar is a little bit higher especially in some emerging market countries, because one thing that's unique about these countries is capital controls. So the ability to move money in and out of the country is a particular concern that a government like the US or the UK might not have. And so it's important that we address these concerns, and to address them, it might take a bit more time. But we've seen in some markets, for example, in Southeast Asia, where regulators have actually been very forward-thinking. They've moved from skepticism to, over the years, coming up with frameworks where, Luno, we have licenses to operate in Malaysia, and the government there has been very forward-thinking in terms of, how do we assess the risk, how do we mitigate it, and then do something that works for consumers, for crypto businesses, and for the government and regulators as well.
Marcus, now Nigerians are looking to peer-to-peer exchanges, transacting directly among each other's crypto wallets without a bank. Innovation somehow finds a way. Do you have any thoughts on that? Does Luno offer that?
We don't offer it on purpose. I mean, we have the ability to do it, but look, I think the most important thing is to have a dialogue with the regulators and with the central banks. We will never do anything to try and go around that. We are in these markets for the long run. We're not there just to make a quick buck. And so it's important that we do things that are above board. And in many of the countries, even in Malaysia, the license would clearly state that you can do certain things and you can't do peer-to-peer trading. So our view at the moment is you are not allowed to do peer-to-peer trading, and therefore we won't activate it. And we frankly won't do anything without the blessing of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Right. Switching topics, Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeting today, any crypto wallet that won't give you your private keys should be avoided at all costs. Apparently, Free Wallet told Elon to call their customer service team after he complained that his account was frozen. It was eventually resolved, but Elon's final conclusion was, your app sucks, to Free Wallet. Your reaction to the whole Free Wallet situation?
Shane, you have to feel a little bit for Free Wallet. I mean, it in our industry often, people's accounts do get locked for various reasons. Sometimes it's for their own security. So I think I feel a bit of sympathy for them. But I think it depends. If where you are on the adoption curve, there are people that are very advanced with crypto that have a really nuanced feel for what's important and who should be holding your private keys. But in a lot of markets, in particular the markets we are in, we're still really at the beginning of the journey. And so in many cases, it would, for example, be a lot better for someone else to hold those keys, or at least until you're very familiar with how it works. Because we've heard so many horror stories of people trying to store their own keys and that being compromised. So I think it depends on the person, it depends on the market. I wouldn't say that that view is something that should be universally applied. Certainly not at this stage of where we are in the
Does Luna give customers access to their private keys?
No, so we store the private keys for our customers.
The Luna
of course,
wallet,
we can. Right? They can remove the crypto from at any point in time, so we can give them the keys, but we don't store it locally for them on a device. They can do that themselves if they want to.
Well, it's important, nevertheless, to have good key management and understand the importance of holding your own keys. If viewers are interested, CoinDesk has a Learn section where you can learn more. Finally, RBC came out with a report recommending that Apple offer buy and sell services for crypto, that it have its own ecosystem that could quickly gain market share. Do you have criticism or do you welcome competition from big tech?
I think anything that opens crypto up more for the masses, whether that's on the educational front, like what you guys are doing, whether that's on the making it easy to access crypto front, is good for the industry. I think we have to remember that we are literally at the very beginning of something that's probably a generational change. So at the moment, we could have another 1,000 companies come into this space, and there would be plenty of room for everyone to move. So we welcome anything, and the bigger the company and the more users they can bring into the crypto ecosystem, the better for everyone.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much for your time, Marcus, and for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Luno co-founder and CEO Marcus Swanepoel. Luno is an independent subsidiary of Digital Currency Group, the parent company of CoinDesk. Time now for the chart of the day. Everybody wants Bitcoin, but where will it come from? This chart shows the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges. The yellow line showing the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges is sinking as the price of BTC climbs up. Hot demand, short supply. That's it for All About Bitcoin. I'm your host, Christine Lee. Join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in New York for First Mover, your first look at the day's global crypto news headlines with special guest, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce. You're watching CoinDesk TV.